Hi there and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Coachman VIP 545. These are a basic walkthrough on how to set up and operate the caravan as if you were coming on or off site. So starting off first, we have your black hitch head at the front and black lever. You have to have that up to then be able to wind out the jockey wheel onto the tow bar. What will happen is it will snap down that black handle, push up that red button and expose a green ring. You have a breakaway cable situated just here. If you have an eye point, legality states it has to be used. If not, wrap it around the tow bar. You then have your handbrake just here. To disengage, just press down, and to engage, flick up. Now those do come up with a fair bit of force, so make sure your head's not in the way. You then have 13-pin electric on the caravan, so if you do have 7-pin adaptation, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. You then have your jockey wheel here as well, which is used to level the caravan. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back. We have inserts for your legs. Now the caravan itself comes with a leg winder, or alternatively you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. However, do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs. They're simply used for stabilisation. Now we're using our test equipment today here, so I have a red propane gas bottle. I'd always recommend propane rather than butane as it has a better performance in winter. Connected to that, I have an in-date gas hose. As you can see, this one's dated 2025. Black gas hoses will run for 5 years, so that will take me up to 2030. This connects onto this regulator at the top. Hand tighten that as much as you can, and then just nip it up using a spanner. You don't want it ridiculously tight, as there is an O-ring inside which can crack and cause gas to leak. Once both sides are firmly connected, twist the gas bottle in the positive or open direction. Coming around this side, first up we have your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. Then we have your plug for your water. So this is your water pump. To remove it, press in on the trigger and then pull out like so. You can see on the top this has electrical pins where all you have to do is press in, and then it can't be removed without pressing in the trigger. You have this plastic cap to go over the top of the acroll, and then at the bottom we have the actual pump. It's crucial that the pump sits at the bottom of the barrel to allow the maximum potential of water to come through, so I'd recommend getting something like some PVC tubing so that this is always nice and straight, as they do have a tendency to curl up. Next to that we have your battery locker. Your battery would sit inside there, and to connect the terminals you either need a 12 or 13mm spanner. Then we have your plug-in for your mains, as well as your point for your motor mover ignition. Motor mover will be gone over on collection. And lastly, we have your toilet function. So 2 points down here is where your wastewater is going to come out of. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to then feed into a waste master that you can empty out at the appropriate point on site. Just here we have your cassette toilet. To remove it, press up on the handle and pull out towards you. Now this handle as well does extend out and up, so it can be used similar to a carry-on suitcase. You then want to twist this head to the side, open up that cap, tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually pressing your vent button. I would then recommend to open up this cap here, open up this compartment, feed it some fresh water, give it a shake, and again tilt and vent. Then on your cap here you have measurements in both imperial and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes into this cap, back onto here, twist it in, twist to the side, and push it in, and don't drop it like I've done, so the orange handle sits behind those white teeth. Then above we have your flush tank. The flush tank has the capacity to hold around 12 litres of water. However, I won't recommend putting in any more than 10, as you don't want to overfill the capacity. You can also add a bit of pink chemical, which works as a bleach without being corrosive and makes it smell a bit nicer. However, please do not put actual bleach down here. Now you don't want to travel with either of these two full, so just up here, got a little bung to drain off any remaining water. The caravan itself will be fully drained off before you leave with it. Then underneath your right hand side seat you have all of this, so I won't recommend storing anything under here. you have your boiler that is situated here with this panel that you can pull back if you ever need to do a reset. You then have these two yellow drain valves. When facing the upright position, that is in drain mode. Both of them do have to be up though. Now, November to March, have that up permanently unless you're actively using the caravan, and anytime you come off site, make sure that you have both of them up because you don't want water sloshing around the system as it can do damage. This box here is your alarm immobilizer, pretty much. That is the main frame for that. These points are the inserts for the actual water pump. The back of that white box is the back of your battery box. You have a solar panel regulator just here, don't have to do anything with that. And then you have this blue box here. Now that is the brain box for your motor mover. You can pull back that panel again if you ever need to do a reset. And then just down here you have all of your trips and fuses. All your trips in the upright position and all your fuses in the correct position. I would always recommend carrying some extra fuses with you as well. Then here we have your main control panel. So you have your master on and off switch. You have internal lights, which you then just use your respective light switches. You have awning light, so press that in, awning on, go outside and you can see that's on just there. Just bend my neck. Then you can flick through some settings here. So you've got user settings, which I can enter. It's a little bit awkward to see on the video. So you've got contrast, you've got beep. So when I select something, it will beep. Standby, 230 volt lost, leisure battery low, so that will just give you a notification. Then you have the firmware that it's on, and exit to main menu. Can then go through. Internal temperature says it's 3 degrees. Now that will differ slightly to the outer panel. Leisure battery voltage. Now as I'm plugged into mains, that will give me the amount from the mains only. When you just have the battery on, that will give you the correct amount. Then the time. You then have your pump button here. So what you would have is your pump button pressed in. You'd have your drain valves in the correct position, and then you'd also have your aqua full of water with your pump in it. You would press that button, wait about 2 to 3 minutes to allow the water to come through, then open up your tap on both hot and cold. And what you're after is a nice steady continuous stream. If you've not used the caravan in a little bit of time, it may be a case that it's overly pressurized and you get a couple of coughs and splutters. Just bear through it and then it will get to a nice steady continuous stream. If it continues with the coughing and spluttering, check to make sure you've got plenty of water in your aqua, as well as all your drain valves in the correct position. So super simple interface there. Then next to it, we have your outer control panel. So turn this on, pressing this button, it will flash up and then it will go to the menu. So right now it tells me that mains are plugged in, and you can see there that little green light showing me that the panel is on. Press menu and it comes to this screen. So first up, we have the internal temperature that the caravan of what you desire. So it goes up to a maximum of 30. So you can individually tap it, or you can press and hold and it will gradually goes up. So 30 is the maximum. On a very nice day, it will still take around an hour. So just do be aware of that. Next to it, we have the shower icon, which is for the water heat. So it's currently off. Midway, we'll get the water temperature to around 40 or 50 degrees. And full, what that does, it will prioritize heating the actual water itself over heating the actual caravan. That will act 30 minutes, and then after that in 30 minutes, it will then drop it down to midway. Next, you have your energy source. So you can either use 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts of mains. Now do be aware that some sites do not have 3 kilowatt capacity, especially if they're rather busy. Gas, or a mixture of gas in 1, 2 and 3. So you've got the choice of gas, mains or a mixture of both. Press the cog and this is your additional settings. Not going to run through these as we've set it to what we believe is the most user-friendly interface to use. If you'd like to have a look inside your book pack to see what they represent, then please do so. Then this screen will naturally fade off when not interacted with in a little while. So pressing the button and now the screen is completely off, no more heating. Then just here we have your toilet operation, which is bog simple. Lift the lid, press the button, and you can hear that motor. That motor is what will push through any water inside the system. Then to remove the waste, you press away on the handle, opens up the catch, pull it back towards you to shut it up, as then you can actually remove the cassette toilet then. Then when the cassette's full, there'll be a red light on there telling you to empty. Then here we have your hob grill and oven. So all of this operates on gas, minus the electric plate. For the electric plate, spin it to whatever mark and it will get to temperature. Everything else, you press in on the dial, twist it to the side and press your igniter. Now it may be a case that you can see the flame will light up and then it will cut out after a few seconds. That is natural, that is the gas making its way through its system. So you can see it's getting weaker and weaker and then it's no longer there. All you have to do, turn it back, press it back in, wait a few seconds and then it will relight. This is what it looks like when they're all lit. As you can see, all flames nice and lit. Then turn it off, back to the central position. And it's the same concept for your grill, so press in, twist to the side. And then you can see both sides nice and lit. Now it may be a case one side will light up and then the other. And lastly, we have your oven. Now for the oven, make sure that the tray itself does not interact with the gas point, because otherwise it won't light properly. And there you can see, just get that back on. There you can see, all working. Only other real thing to note, if you're travelling with gas bottles, make sure the bottle itself is off. And you need to travel with this glass sheet down, but don't put it down until all of these are nice and cold. Then lastly, we have your Thetford fridge operation. So to turn this on, press and hold in on your power button. It will flash up and go to its most recent memory, which in this case is mains on full capacity. To change the energy source, you press in on this individual button. So you have first A, which is auto. Now auto will select what the fridge thinks is the best source to use. So selected mains. You have mains. You have the battery symbol, which is representative 13-pin electric, so only have that on when you're towing. And then you have gas. Now for gas, I wouldn't recommend putting it on until you've checked through all your hob grill and oven. Then you can see naturally it will fade off when not interacted with in a little bit of time. Then you can choose the amount of power coming into the van, 5 being the most powerful, so it's going to chill it the quickest. But even on full capacity, it takes around 4 hours for this to fully chill. As you've just seen, that screen will fade off. However, this little green light will stay on to show that it's operating. Then to turn this off, press and hold in, no longer on.